So IR have started making throw lines. Let's talk about that. Yesterday, something very exciting turned up in the post. This is an immersion research throw line. It's a working prototype, but Mark has given me permission to film with it, to make good use of it, to rec test it, I suppose, to some degree, and let you guys know what it's about. It literally arrived in the post yesterday, and I'm going to give you my first impressions. Let's get into it. Immersion research, 21 metres of floating line, or 70 feet if you work in freedom units. Use instructions and a classic warning, complete proper training. Do not use for climbing or rappelling, obviously. Made in Hood River, fun. The bag itself is made out of a really lovely, rugged seeming, very durable, slightly plasticized, I think, or like waxy canvas material. That's what it feels like. I'm sure I'm wrong. I dare say that somewhere there is a label with the materials on it, probably inside. But we're going to be opening it up in a second anyway, so we can see if that's in there. As I say, this is literally the first time I've been properly looking at it. As you can see, it's a fairly thin rope. I'm going to guess. Come on, focus. There we go. I'm going to guess that we're looking at maybe a 7mm rope here, so it is pretty thin, certainly by what I would say is probably a European standard. That's pretty thin. Most ropes that I've encountered in the UK at least seem to be somewhere around 8 to 10mm, just for that extra bit of weight when you throw them. It'll be interesting to see what that's like when we actually come to use it. I do immediately note, and this is a bit of a shame, but maybe it won't make too much of an impact, that the sheath at the end here seems to be devoid of any central core, but I think that is literally just this very end section here, which is very helpfully painted red. That's a very nice touch. I like that. I'll be interested to see if they have done any marking further up at like 3 feet in freedom units, a metre or whatever, 2 metres, something like that, just to give an impression of, oh, you're getting to the end of the line now. I don't know, it'll be interesting. I like to mark my ropes with something like that, a little pen mark or whatever. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what they've done there. Really nice, secure, sturdy popper, and classic, the old original IR logo from the early 2000s on here. Very satisfying popper, and they've got 2 poppers there, I guess, so that in theory you can do it really, really tight. All right, let's get into it. A much wider aperture than the diameter of the bag itself. It widens as it gets to the top, which is a really good touch. Big fan of that. Right, we're going to dump this out. Nailed it. I'm very pleased to see that the loop that comes out of the bottom end here is lovely and tight and small. There's no chance of you snagging that around your hand or your wrist. That's good news. I like that a lot. Now, obviously, whenever you get a new throw line, the first thing to do is to get it in there, turn it inside out, and check what kind of knot is going on in there, and if necessary, retie it. Okay, so there we can see the inside. As I say, this kind of waxy, plasticized interior, but really lovely, simple construction, very sturdy, very rugged. Tiny little piece of foam for flotation at the bottom. That can't hurt, I suppose. There we go, that is retied. Bowline with a Yosemite finish, just for fun. I love knots. Okay, let's get this repacked. Let's see how it repacks. That's quite an important factor, really. That big wide aperture at the top makes it very pleasant to repack. I think that's become essentially like an industry standard nowadays. Everyone's doing wide mouth throw lines because old school ones were such a pain in the bum. But that is a real treat. You can get like a foot of rope at a time and just smash it in there. Excellent. Big fan of that. In fact, you probably could even do a little bit of a sort of, I don't know, use that little thumb loop there to hold it. That's quite nice. Sure, that's not what it's intended for, but, you know, it's helpful. Oh man, that is so easy peasy to repack. That is lovely. I mean, I'm not going to be winning any Olympic prizes for speedy repacking, but that does make it easy. That's very nice. Closure's a little bit awkward, but not too bad. Okay, there we go. So there we go. This is the Immersion Research Lariat 70-foot throw line. It is fully made of recycled polyester components, 100% recycled. So that's pretty cool. This throw line is currently retailing at just under £100. So that does put it at about double the price for a UK paddler of any other 20-metre line that's currently on the market. Just something to be bearing in mind. So, first impressions of this thing. I certainly like it, not least because of the nice crinkly sound that it makes. But I'm looking forward to getting this out on the river and really putting it through its paces a little bit, see what it's capable of. I can't think of the last time I actually carried a 21-metre rope, because they always just seem like they're so hefty and inconvenient to carry around. The fact that this is a 7mm rope, I think, means that it's quite light by comparison with lots that you get over this side of the pond. That might not be a good thing. We'll have to wait and see. But it's certainly a good thing in terms of whether I'm going to choose to put it in my boat or not. It makes it so much easier to decide yes on that. So tune in future to see how this thing performs on the water. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.